Why most people, 90% of people are broke. You got the super duper rich is 1%. You got the 10% that's net worth is over $250,000. This is why it's so simple. I'm going to tell you my story again. I'm going to tell you my story. My story is I was sleeping in my truck. I was sleeping in my truck somewhat by choice and somewhat not by choice. So basically, I was evicted from my studio apartment and I was sick of. I was sick. I said that would never happen to me again. I had to literally tell my baby mom, hey, I cannot afford to house my son. You are going to have to house him, and I'll just come see him and pick him up from school and all that other stuff. Right? So I had to, like put my head between my legs and walk around like a fucking chicken. Right? I said never again. Never again. There's no way in the fucking world I cannot house my son. There's no way anybody's ever going to kick me off of a property again. That clicked in my brain. Something has to click in your brain. Something has to click. Until something clicks, you'll always be in a 90%. I don't care how much money you make. You make 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, 10 million a year. Until something clicks in your brain to never be broke again, you will always be going through the get money, be broke, get money, be broke, get money, lose it. Money will always be running out of your hand. Something has to click. That's something that has to click is I have to park my money in assets. Park. Keyword is park. Keyword is park. You know, when you put something in park, it stays there. You do not remove it. It stays there. Okay? Most people refuse to park their money. That's the whole key. That is the whole key. Most people will park their money for a month, a year, maybe 10 years, and then remove it. You can't do it. You cannot do it. The super rich do not park their money, then remove it. They will get a loan on their asset, but they'll never sell it. They'll never sell it. They'll never sell it. When you hear these companies talking about they sold their stocks and they sold this and they sold that, they don't sell it. They borrowed money on it. They'll say, hey, I got $50 billion in Tesla stocks. Let me borrow that $50 billion. That's what they do. All right. It's called staking. They stake it. Right. Anyhow, that's another story. Another thing that keep y'all broke. You have to be in a mindset that whether you have somebody in your life or people in your life that's supportive or not, you are going to do what you need to do. You are going to do. There was a time when I had plenty money. I just had like 30 grand just sitting there at my disposal. 30 grand, right? And I literally didn't know what to do with it. That which is stupid, right? Like I could have invested in stocks, I could have bought property, a house, all that type of stuff. But I was using it as just backup money. Like I just wanted the money to sit there. I was parking $30,000. I was parking it, right? I was parking it for emergencies and all that type of stuff, right? You're really not supposed to park money. You're supposed to park assets. You're supposed to transfer that money from being money to an asset and park the asset. Anyhow, I was parking the money. Sure enough, found a way out of my hand. It's just tragedy after tragedy started happening. This started happening, that started happening. Like the money will find a way out of your pocket, out of your bank account if you don't use it. It will find a way out. And sure enough, that's what happened. The money found a way out of my bank account, out of my hand, because I did not use it. I wasn't using it, right? This is why I'm telling you, you get broke. You become broke no matter how much money you have. You have to park your money into assets. Whether the value of that asset go up or down, you have to park your money in an asset. I don't care if you buy a piece of land today for 10,000 and tomorrow it's worth 1,000. I don't care if you buy a stock today that's worth 100,000 and today and tomorrow it's worth 10,000. Okay? If it's an asset, if it's a true asset, you keep it. All right? Land to me is a number one asset. You need land to live on. You need land to grow your food. You need land for everything. There's nothing on this planet that you cannot have, that you can have that doesn't pertain to land. Everything comes out of the land. Okay? Anyhow, you have to have the mindset that no matter what, whether I have a significant other, mother, father, sister, brother, I'm going to do what I need to do. You have to have that mindset. Otherwise, if you don't have that mindset, you're going to be thinking about you're so lonely, nobody supports you, you don't have anybody. And your main concern is going to be more so about your loneliness than about your financial status. Okay? Excuse me for eating in front of your face. But if you don't have that mindset that you're gonna get your financial situation together, whether or not you have a support system, you'll never make it. I'm noticing that with a lot of people. They're sitting around waiting for somebody to support them. They're sitting around waiting for a man, waiting for a woman, waiting for a brother or a sister, anybody. They're sitting around waiting for their offsprings to grow up so then they can go live their lives. I'm telling you, people, it's just a mindset. It's just a mindset. Something just has to click. Something just has to click. And for 90% of the people, it has not clicked. It has not clicked. This is why you cannot touch $250,000 or more. If you cannot touch $250,000 or more, you are broke. You are broke. You are broke. I got 10,000 in my bank account. You are broke. You are broke. Okay? You are broke. $10,000 is nothing. Even $250,000 is barely anything. You're just getting started with $250,000. You can easily buy a house, think you're going to rehab it and flip it to make more money and lose that $250,000 easily. Easily. $250,000, you still just at the edge. Now you start talking about $2.5 million, obviously $25 million, you're in there. You are in there, right? So, get your mind in a position that you are going to be successful no matter what, no matter if you have support or not, if it's just you alone, just you and your God, the God in you. Get your mind in the position that you're going to park your money. You're going to make your money to park it in assets, especially land. Number one, you need somewhere to live. You need somewhere to live. You need somewhere you can grow food. I don't comprehend. You need somewhere to live where nobody's going to kick you out. I don't comprehend renting. I really, like, I rented for 20 years, and it just baffles me that I did that for 20 years. Like, because I know better. I'm way smarter than that. But 20 years go by so fast. It goes by so fast. This year went by so fast. 2023 is almost over. It seemed like it just started yesterday. I'm telling you, time will blow by you so fast, and you'll be like, I did nothing with my life. You'll be saying to yourself, you did nothing with your life but wasted. Wasted smoking weed, fucking and sucking, drinking, working pointless jobs, wasting it on crazy, toxic people. Like, you just completely need to do a redo or do a do-over on your life, because you're just a complete fuck up. Okay? That's 90% of people. I just described 90% of people sitting around smoking, drinking, sucking and fucking, doing menial jobs that don't teach them a skill, and just wasting their life. Okay? When that something clicked in my brain, I watched every guru on YouTube. My phone was on YouTube 24/7, even while I was resting. While I was resting, it was playing like some type of what do you call it? Reprogramming video in the background while I was resting. Or I fell a rest watching some type of real estate video or investing video. I did this religiously 24/7, 365, all of 2017, most of 2016. Something really clicked in my brain in 2017. It really clicked. I had a personal experience that something clicked in my brain in 2015. It really, really clicked. And I was like, never again. And from then on, and I went into super hyper mode in 2020 when I got to North Carolina and seen all this beautiful property for sale for so cheap. For so cheap. It was unbelievable. I went into super hyper mode. And now I'm sitting on over $250,000. Now, if I was to sell all my interests and all my properties right now, I could cash out around $250,000. It's really more than that, because there's one particular property I'm going to cash out $500,000 just on one property. Just when it's done, when it's finished, when I'm finished with that project, I'm going to cash out about $500,000 in one property. And another property, I could cash out $250,000 once it's done. Just in two properties, I could cash out $750,000. Matter of fact, if I was to take all my properties I have interest in and start putting houses on them, I would be well at over $5 million. If I was to borrow, about $1 million right now, or get my hands on about $1 million right now, and put a house on all my properties, like Monopoly, you put a house on your property, or completely rehab the ones that already have houses, I'd be at over $5 million. I would be at over $5 million. And I did this literally within 5 years. Literally within 3 years. 3 years. I put myself in this position. It's all about putting yourself in a position. It's just like Monopoly. You have to put yourself in position. I was playing Monopoly with my woman, and she had put herself in position to buy all the properties, all the expensive properties on Boardwalk. And every time I landed on her property, I had to pay this exuberant amount of money. She had put herself in position, in the right position. I was buying up all the cheap stuff. She was buying up all the expensive stuff. And she was beating my ass. She was beating my ass. And I'm the guru. I'm the real estate guru. And she was beating my ass. She put herself in position with all the expensive properties. She was like, bump this. I'm gonna buy this expensive. I'm gonna put it all on this expensive ass property. And sure enough, I would land on one of them every time. I had to pay her. When she landed on one of my cheap little properties, she had just had to pay me a few dollars. When I land on her expensive property, I had to pay her $300, $500. It's all about putting yourself in the right position. Are you in position to where your loved ones could come borrow $5, $50, $500, $5,000? Or are you in position where you need to borrow $5, $50, $500, $5,000? What position are you in? It's all about the position you're in. People kiss your ass because they see you in a better position than they are. People worship Beyonce, Jay-Z, whoever, because they see Beyonce, Jay-Z, or whoever in a better position than them. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how smart you are. You have doctors, teachers that are smarter than everybody on the planet. But these doctors and teachers are not in a good position financially. You have a motherfucker that barely have an 8th grade education in better positions financially than teachers and doctors. You got these mumble rappers barely could speak in a better position financially than scientists, teachers, and doctors. It's all about the position you are in. You have people got car washes and lawnmower service and simple businesses, YouTubers, influencers, barely have an education. They just get on YouTube and social media doing dumb shit, are in better positions than people who spend their lifetime becoming physicists and scientists and teachers. Remember that guy Alvin from the Cosby Show? He was an actor. He was a college professor, and somebody found him working at Aldi's. So and did a video on it and went viral. And they were saying they were job shaming him. The guy was working at Aldi's making like $10 an hour. He had not positioned himself his whole life. He had not positioned himself financially. That's why you see these celebrities and super rich people that work hard. They are W-2 employees. They work hard to make money, but end up broke. Because you're not going to become rich or hold that wealth by working. No matter how hard you work, you have to park your money in assets. You have to park your money in assets. If you don't know what an asset is, look it up. An asset makes you money, whether it's in equity or in cash flow. It goes up with inflation. That's an asset. A liability is the opposite. A liability takes money away from you. It goes down with inflation. Having cash is a liability. That's why you see so many people trying to loan out their money. to make interest on their money. Having the cash sitting around is a liability. You could get robbed. You get robbed through your bank account. You could get robbed physically. Just having money sitting around is a liability. If you got $1 million sitting in your mattress or under your house right now, that's a liability. The bugs that eat it, you could get robbed. If you got $1 million sitting in a bank account right now, that's a liability. The whole system could shut down. People could cyber hack you. It's a liability. You have to park your house in an asset. Even if you got a $50 million house and you got to sell it for $40 million, that's still better than having $50 million sitting somewhere for 10 years. If you've had $50 million sitting somewhere in the past 5 years, your $50 million is worth about 20 million right now. It's worth about 20 million because inflation went up more than half. Gas went from $1.98 to $3 and change. So that's almost $4 and change, I should say. So that's more than half. So your $50 million is now anywhere from 40 million to 20 million. So yes, if you bought a property for 50 million 3 years ago and it's now worth 40 million, you're still ahead. You cannot complain. You're still ahead. And you could write off that $10 loss, that $10 million loss, and get tax credit for that. I'm telling you, real estate is a beast. Equity is brutal. This is why you guys are broke. It's so simple. It's not hard. And I show you guys how to buy property from $0 down, $199 down, $299 down. This Tuesday, I'm having a mastermind showing you guys how to manifest deals, showing you guys how to do contract. If you can manifest deals, if you know how to write up contracts, if you know how to make offers, you are a millionaire. You are a millionaire. You are a millionaire. If you know how to do those three things, manifest a deal, know how to write up the contract on that deal, or I should say know how to manifest that deal, know how to write up the offers on different type of offers on that deal. You want to give a cash offer. Look at that. Right as I'm speaking, somebody's booking on my Airbnb. And then if you know how to write up the contract for that offer that you did, you are a millionaire. Millionaires, people that are destined to be millionaires will become millionaires. And people that are not, they just never will be. No matter how much money they can make $250,000 a year, they'll never be a millionaire because they don't have the mindset. They have an employee mindset. They have a broke mindset. But people who are destined to be millionaires, look how many people are homeless bums and become millionaires. They're destined to become millionaires. You know why? Because these are people, no matter what, they keep trying. No matter what, they keep trying to become a millionaire. People that keep trying to become a millionaire eventually will become millionaires. That's why I love people. I'd rather deal with somebody that's always trying to become a millionaire than somebody that just want to work a job and have an average life. People that just want to work a job and have an average life with nothing to pass down to their offsprings, to me, are wasting their talent. Just like the Bible say, that's somebody that took their talent and parked it under the house. They buried their talent. The creator of the balanced universe gave you a talent to use it. Risk it. Invest it. If you lose it, don't, like in Monopoly, you could lose all your money and go back to where it says go past go or whatever that is, and you get $200. Every time you make a full circle, you get $200. That's how life is. The universe will continue to give you money, resources to start over, no matter how many times you fail. No matter, it's gonna come a point where you fail so much you cannot even possibly fail anymore, and you will figure it out how to be a millionaire. And you will literally go from 0 to 100 million, 200 million, $1 billion, versus somebody that spent 20, 30, 40, 50 years just working as a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a maid, whatever, and they just comfortable in that position, and then they leave everything to an offspring, and the offspring just squander everything because you don't even have the mindset to teach your offspring how to build on top of what you left them. Most people just teach their offspring how to get a job like them and go to college and buy a house. I was telling a story about my buddy Danny. A guy sold him or gave him a property, 120 acres. And the guy was an employee mindset type of guy. The guy was a genius, right? I think he was an engineer or scientist. And Danny was telling me the story, and the guy basically sold Danny the property because the guy did not know what to do with them 120 acres. Now Danny has turned them 120 acres into a campground and into a farmer's market. And Danny's making crazy money because Danny has an entrepreneur mindset. He knows how to flip that money, flip that resource. The guy that had it previously had an employee mindset, even though he was an engineer or a scientist. Anyway, I'm doing a special. I'm doing $25 if you want to get into my class this Tuesday night. This Tuesday night's going to be fire. It's $25. We're going to talk about manifesting deals. We're going to talk about writing up the contract for those deals, the offers for those deals, and how to write up that contract on that offer. It's $25. But if you pay $55, you'll be in that class and every class every Tuesday for 1 year. And if you pay the $333, you get all that plus one-on-one consultation with me for 1 year. All right. And I also have a $999 package where if you don't want to do anything, you want me to do everything for you, set up your life the way my life is set up, it's $999. Anyway, if you want further details, my phone number is 754-229-0940. Do not ask me for no email. Just call me on the phone or text me. But don't call me talking about black people supposed to have free land and all this bullshit. All right? I don't want to talk about slavery. I don't want to talk about white supremacy. I want to talk about getting money, getting businesses, doing business, resources. I don't want to hear your life story. Let's get to the money. All right? Talk to you later. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. Peace.